So today we're doing a deep dive into this really charming story. It's about two students, Kesser and Steen,
Right. And they were supposed to be in class, Professor Hendricks' Nature and Innovation class.
studying chlorophyll and conifers, of all things. But then a massive blizzard hits.
The classic snow day. School's out.
Exactly. But instead of, running home to turn on a video game console,
They do something completely different. They decide their walk home is now, their homework,
they treat the blizzard like a field study.
which leads to this great conversation about sort of the tension between our high-tech data and these more uh, biological ways of seeing the world.
It's a great mindset. So as they're walking, Steen is reminded of a memory.
Yeah, the cold gets him thinking about a summer canoe trip he took with his dad in Sweden,
They were staying near his uncle's cabin, his Uncle Findus,
who they call grand-uncle.
which means spruce uncle.
And it fits. He's this guy who whittles things. Like, he makes whisks from the tops of old Christmas trees. A real backyard engineer.
And he gives Steen this little device. To Steen, it just looks like a half-finished chestnut man,
Right. But it's much more than a toy. It's actually a homemade hygrometer.
made from a pine cone. And we should probably break down how this thing actually works.
We should. It's just a brilliant piece of passive engineering. The scales on a pine cone are hygroscopic.
Meaning they react to the moisture in the air.
Exactly. They have these two layers of fibers inside them, and they run in different directions. So when the air is humid, the outer layer absorbs water and expands.
And that forces the scale to curl shut.
It does.
Yeah.
And then when the air is dry, it shrinks, and the scale opens back up.
So the pine cone is basically a little motor powered by humidity.
That's it. And Uncle Findus just harnessed that. He glued a small stick to one of the scales and mounted the whole cone on a debarked piece of wood.
So as the scales move, that little indicator stick would rise or fall.
Yeah, showing you the level of dampness in the air. It's so elegant.
It is. Though Kesser, the other student, he couldn't resist a little technical correction. Steen kept calling it a barometer.
Which measures air pressure, of course.
Right. Kesser points out that if it's measuring moisture, it's a hygrometer.
And that little correction actually pivots the whole conversation. It gets Kesser talking about his own experience with this kind of low-tech observation.
He remembers a trip to the mountains in northern Norway, the Fieldit.
And this is where we get the weather stone.
I think I've seen joke versions of this in gift shops, but the way he describes it is perfect. It's just a stone slab that acts like a weather dashboard.
With zero latency. It's the ultimate simplified user interface. The rules carved into it are just direct observation.
Okay, so if the stone is warm,
Sun, if it's cold.
it's frost. Wet stone means rain.
White stone means snow.
And it even works for extreme weather. Fallen stone equals storm.
It's funny, but it's also true. It's giving you immediate, hyper-local information about what's happening right now.
There was even one for fog. If you can't see the stone, it's foggy.
Simple causal links. And this is where the story comes full circle. Back to their walk in the snow.
Because they're not just telling stories, they're actually looking around. They spot a big rock with smaller stones that have been blown down around it.
And they immediately connect that to the weather data from the night before. They knew the winds were strong, maybe 10 or 15 meters per second.
The fallen stones rule from Norway held up. It was a storm.
So they decide to calibrate their own Danish version right there. But Steen, he suggests adding one more rule.
Right, the biological variable.
His suggestion was, if the stone is only wet on one half,
It's not rain, it's a dog.
which you have to admit is a valid data point. You will not get that from a weather app.
And that's really the core of it, isn't it?
Right.
We have all these apps pulling data from stations miles away. But these simple tools, the pine cone, the stone,
Yeah.
they force you to actually engage with your immediate surroundings.
It turns the world into your laboratory. You stop just consuming a forecast and you start actually observing the weather.
So here's a thought for you to take away. The next time you feel that urge to pull out your phone to check if it's raining, maybe just don't. Look at a pine cone on the ground. Or, just look at a rock. You might get a more accurate reading for where you are, and hopefully no dogs will be involved.